The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here on this Tuesday, the 10th of December. Oh, what an early morning. This has been quite a morning already. We've had basically 2 days of trading. All right, the Dow's down 72 at 44,330. I'll do this one at a time because it's really important, because I am anticipating it. It is so seldom that all-time highs are made at a peak C in the Chapman wave methodology in the daily chart. It does happen. It is so seldom. I can show you the 2 cases that I've got so far, but it's unusual, especially when the 9-period moving average is this strong above the 14. Yes, the MACD turned down. Yes, the relative strength is starting to weaken. On balance on the blue line here, ugly. The stochastic gone from the 83% area to 78, not good. But that's been the benchmark that we've used for ages. It's my indicator of last resort. And we'll see if it's going to work here. I have no idea. We're still long. We did have a trading long. We took it off for a very 1% loss yesterday. I was going to do that this morning. It's just that I didn't know where I could enter the position for subscribers, because it had to be before 8:30. That's when I usually get my newsletter out between 8 and 8:30, sometimes earlier than that, usually not later. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying that's the technicals here. Most of them are weak, but the most important one is the 914, and that's positive. The weekly chart, all the technicals are extremely positive, and the stochastic flat at 92%. You couldn't ask for anything more than that if you are looking at long positions, or at least if you're looking at something that's in a buy mode, which this is. If you're looking at the monthly chart, well, the month still has quite a way to go, so we're not going to talk about that, other than to say, because it made a fractional new high in December. Let me just double check. Yeah, it was just 45,071.29, and then 73. Yep, 73.63. So 73.63, 45,000 and 73.63. That is what we're looking at as what needs to be broken to get to a peak D. Now, I just need to do this for a brief moment. In the Chapman wave methodology, we always expect a buy signal that's upgraded to a buy mode, which this is, should go to at least 4 higher peaks. Peak A is the first peak, B is the second peak, C is the third, and then you get your peak D. That's at least 4 higher peaks. It can recycle and go higher, but that's what your objective is. Now, with that said, the most important thing that I'm looking at here is you've had from the all-time high, you've had 1, 2, 3, just 4 candles to the downside, except that those 4 candles took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days worth on the left side. So this is really important. When I say to subscribers, now we don't have a choice. It's either today or tomorrow the Dow has to start going positive. And if that happens, then we can anticipate that it could go to a D. Now, there's another technique that says you can go just under the D, and I call that then a C1 and a C2, and then fail. We haven't got that yet. So to me, this is the only, if I had done what I normally would do, and they were all at least a D. Look, the S&P made the D at 6,099.97. It was ready for at least the consideration of something as insurance. The IW, so right now it's at 6,059, up 6.41. You've got the QQQ, Invesco QQ to Trust series. That's the Index 100. Fabulous action. Went to a peak D, had a brief pullback yesterday, but it was quite a sharp candle. It went to a low, but now you've got an inside bar. The weekly chart is still in leg D. Oops, is that a leg D? No, that is a peak D. I call it a leg D until the week is finished. The bar has to finish before you can call it a peak. Well, the high was 526.72 last week, and the high this week is 526.35. So it's just a little under that. So far it's still leg D until Friday's close at 4 o'clock. I suspect it's going to take that out. And a leg D in the monthly chart. And all of these are very positive. Now let's go on to the IWM. And let me just mention here in the daily chart, look how high the price is above the 9-period moving average. Look how high the 9 is above the 14. To get that green to go pink, the 9-period moving average to go under the 14-period moving average, you'd have to see 508, 510, 508 at least. So far, that is really bullish. IWM, not so bullish because the price has gone under the 14-period moving average. However, the peak E at 244.98, which now this is really important. Look, this is what I was talking about a moment ago. I'm busy looking up here. I almost forgot to look down to tell you how many charts have made round numbers, etc., at the highs or within, or either at the opening of the day that it made the high, etc. But look at this double top, 244.46 in November of 2021. Pulls back to 161.47 in October and goes right back in a shorter time span to a leg D at 244.98. Less than 50 cents away from that all-time high before. That could become a double top with maybe a cup and a handle pattern. I don't want to go there yet. The month is not finished, but the daily says, not good action, down $1.41 at 236.32. So this bifurcation, where you've got the strong areas still strong and the weak areas coming up, trying to rally and then stalling. This is kind of the lagging iShares, and that's what we're looking at this particular point. It's still fantastic action. It's at 236, all-time highs, 244. It's only 8 points. I mean, that's nothing, right? 8 points away. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking that if we can get close to that D in the Dow, that's maybe where we start to see a deeper pullback, and that this is kind of a little heads up. It's a pre-pullback. Anyway, let's go on to the next step. The next step is to go to the SMHs. And the SMHs, and here's kind of the clue. SMHs are down $1.15 today. Doesn't sound like much at 244.89. 244.89. That's where the IWM Russell 2000 made its double top. Okay, so we're looking at this, and I'm saying, well, semis lead us up, semis lead us down. Where are we? What are we doing? And essentially what we're doing is these are stalling. And this is just saying that the upside might be limited, the downside might be limited, but the longer you continue in the sideways movement, the greater the chances are that you have to call it distribution. So I'm watching them very closely, because if the SMHs at any particular point take out 232, the 200-period exponential moving average, that's about 13 points, from where we are right now, that's going to be an issue. But it hasn't done that yet. And this is telling me in the big picture that we've got to anticipate that there's going to be some kind of a deeper pullback. I'm still saying that 8 to 12% is kind of what I'd be looking at when I expect that it happens. I think we have to get rid of the residual strength that we're looking at here. So with that said, Dow's down 115, S&P's up 7.47, Basil Chapman, Tiger Conditions Hour. Did you know that Berkshire Hathaway made a round number at its high? I'll be back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
That's a question, Basil. Do you ever use Australian formation in doubles tennis? Peaky, no, I don't. In fact, I will be there this coming year. I'll find out more about it. All right, let's do this. We've got the E-mini up 7. This is now, I don't know if this is a brand new leg A in the 10-minute chart. I think it could be. I'm going to call it an E, but it is a B in the 5-minute chart, and it is a brand new leg C in the 1-minute chart, and we're going to go from there. And everything that I wanted, except that the deepness of the pullback this morning was a little more than I would have liked to have seen. But so far, this is kind of what I'm looking at. In my experience, having watched numerous crashes over the decades that I've been involved in the market, this is not the kind of topping action we should have seen. If this was really a major market, a top with Bitcoin maybe leading the way down. Remember Bitcoin? I should mention we are still long Bitcoin. Trading at 98,400 with that 9-period moving average still strong. It hasn't plunged, which I think when it makes its top, it's going to plunge. And right now, I think it still has residual strength. So let me just say this for clarification. This is what I've said to subscribers over and over and over. When you get a major sell in the market, it's because of 3 things. Number 1 is the market has certain sectors, a sector, but it's usually one major sector with others following, that is just out of control, that everywhere you go, people are talking about it. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Remember, that was 2019, November, December. And wow, it got your peak D in the monthly chart, and it came plunging down. The eyeballs that people were talking about in 2000, everywhere you went, in 2007, everywhere you went to the bank, people were lined up trying to get mortgages. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't see that here. I see signs of it. Do I see overbought? Absolutely. Do I see the kind of hysteria that produces the kind of top where people just go completely silent? I don't know if you've noticed, but people who were talking, I'm really talking about friends that I have, people that I know that are staunch Democrats, have always been. There's just absolute silence now. And that's the kind of silence that you get when a major market top occurs, and market just plunges, and people are just caught absolutely unawares, and they have lost a bundle. There's this silence. Well, you don't have that right now. So I'm just saying that I've been anticipating some kind of a pullback, an 8%er, maybe a 12%er. I see no problem with that. I'd prefer to see it right now, soon. But in the meantime, I don't really have it in everything that I'm looking at. So I just wanted to clarify that. So Bitcoin's acting quite nicely right now. What am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, yes, high-grade copper. High-grade copper had a nice bounce yesterday. It's giving back a little bit. It's down 0.01 at 4.26. And, I'm looking at the grains. I follow the grains. I don't ever trade grains, but I follow them very closely. Look, they're all at lows. Wheat. That's wheat, soybeans. Look at this, everyone. Look at one of these charts, corn. And yet, look at this. Oh, corn is the one that's doing very nicely here. Corn is about to take out it's at 442. It's probably going to take out the 444 level. So, but look at this. The DB Agricultural Fund that we've been long for a few years now in the 13s is up at 27.69 and extending to an all-time high as we speak. So I don't quite get that. And that's DB Agricultural Fund. It really has the grains. It has, of course, other sectors within it. But isn't that interesting? And I don't know if that implies that there might be a return of inflation or anything like that. But isn't that fascinating? Grains are down sharply, and yet the DB Agricultural Fund, DBA is a symbol, is just in the last month, it's gone from the 25s to the 27s. That's over a 10% move to the upside, and this is an agricultural fund. All right, let's get back to our story. So look at this, BRK.B, Berkshire Hathaway B shares. The day it made its all-time high on the 27th of November, it hit 491.67, but it opened at round number 481, a little double top there, and it's pulling back. So that's what I'm saying. There's residual strength, but some issues are starting to really deteriorate. Let's go through the next one. JP Morgan. JP Morgan makes an all-time high around about the 25th. And what happens? It hits 254.31. And the very next day, the high of that down day is 251 round number high. Let's go on. Let's go to Netflix. Netflix, all-time high 3 days ago at 935.27. The day before, it has a 927 round number. I think it was the open. Bank of America, which we have been long for a long time, goes to an all-time, not an all-time high. All-time high is 50.11, which I think it will still get to, but it goes to 48.08 on the, what day was that? On the 29th of November. A few days later, it has a 47 round number close. It's trading at 45.88. If it closes on any day above 47.00, that'll be very positive. Right now, that's your cap. That is your resistance level. URI. Remember, URI is one of my core, what can I call it? Core positions that I look at for decades as a very great indicator. United Rentals of the general market. And what did it do? It made a high on the 11th of November, all-time. Was that an all-time high? No. All-time high was a little earlier. No, it was. That was the all-time high on the 11th of November at, I didn't even put that in, at 896.98. It had an open round number 885.00. Remember I did the whole thing with the round numbers back in April with all the semiconductors and those high flyers, and you remember how sharply they fell? So I'm saying, I'm not ignoring the fact that we could have a pretty deep pullback in certain sectors. Let's just go on. We're talking about CTAS. This is another one that people know I've been following for decades and decades, because I consider it an indicator of general market economic strength. Cintas Corp, Uniforms Rental, CTAS, trading right now 209.48. It did a double top at 227.36 back in early November. A few weeks later, double tops at 228.12. And the technicals were weak, and look where it is right now. It has a huge smash to the downside yesterday. It's trading at 209. I'm looking at WM, Waste Management. I've always said waste management, every town, city, every person needs waste management. Of course, there are other companies as well, but this is the one I've always followed. Makes an all-time high on the, what was that? On the 27th at 230.39. It has a 229 round number open. It's trading at 216 right now. I'll be back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Dow's down 47, S&P's up 5, but this is going to be very interesting because remember I just mentioned the WM Waste Management. Have a look at this. Oracle. I don't remember why I put Oracle in. Oh, Oracle had peak E. Wait a minute, didn't I? Oh, and it had a round number the day before the big spike up yesterday to 176.21. It's now down at 174. ADMA. This is in Investors Business Daily. Had a 23 round open in the last high that it made. Now it's down at the 19 area. CLS. Oh, this is an important one. CLS. Celestica, E in the monthly chart, only a C in the weekly chart, but it made an E 3 days ago with a 96 round number high. Isn't that interesting, huh? Round number high. When you're watching, if it goes over 96, that's very positive. RKL. Oh, what's this? RK. Got to write this clearer, Mr. LB. Ah, yes. This is Rocket Lab. Made a huge leg A in the this unbelievable leg A from the round about the fours. Screams up to a high that was made at 28.10 just on the 3rd of December, and it had a 24 low. So I'm watching this one closely. It's at 23.63. I don't know how important that one is because the technicals are still pretty darn strong, but it did go to a GSASC in the weekly chart. Fix. Hey, how about this? A lot of these are from Investors Business Daily. Has gone to peak C in the weekly, a leg F in the monthly, had a 510.79 high on the, what was that? That was on the 26th, and the very next day the high was 510 round number high, it's trading at 464. So I'm watching these closely. I mean, I can go on. I will go on. AXON. This is Exxon Enterprises. Huge move leg E. Now, these monthly charts are all overbought, but overbought can stay overbought, right? Look at the weekly chart, peak E maybe this week. It goes to 2 doji candle highs, all-time highs on the 5th of December at 695.94, and the next day is the all-time high at 698.67. I only had this in because it had the 2 doji candles, which is another clue. It's another technique I developed a long time ago. The silent doji went on at a top or a bottom. If the candle on the left side or the right side of that candle has a tiny little doji candle, keep in mind, I call it a silent doji because you won't find it in a scan, but if you're looking at it, you'll see it. And that could very well be a reversal. AXSM. I've spoken about this many times over the years. Never got it. I should have got it a long time ago. Had an all-time high. Exome Therapeutics, fantastic company. I think based out in Manhattan, if I'm not correct. Maybe not. Had a 105 round number high on the around about the 11th of November. Slides down to the 92 level, and it's at 98 right here. And it's got the Chapman wave rectangle formation, peak A, peak B, peak C, and these are a little higher to go to a D, and then we're going to check it out to see what happens next. Spotify. So these, Spotify had a couple of round numbers. It made a 506.47 high just 4 sessions ago. I'm watching this very closely because on either side of it, it's got some round numbers. It's just telling me that things are going on. When fund managers put in a round number, it means they just want to get out or they just want to get in. They don't even want to bother with the 0.00, the 0.01 or 02, whatever it is. Just get me in, get me out. That to me is very important. RL, Ralph Lauren. Why have I got this one in? Because it had a 237 high, all-time high, back in November. It pulled back very sharply from the 238 area, 236, to down to the 200s, and then it went to a high right here on the 6th of December, and the very next day it had a 235 round number, and we're going to be watching it because it's trading at 227, but the 9 is over the 14, and that's still very strong. SMCI, I mean, I could go on. You'll be surprised at how many round numbers there are. SMCI had a round number yesterday of 48. It's trading now at 40 and a peak D. But the technicals are still pretty good, so we're going to be watching it closely. I can go on. MSTR, I will go on. MSTR, try to stop me. MSTR, MicroStrategy. Whoops, get this going here. There it is. Waiting for it. Okay. Had a high back on the 19th, the 21st. The 21st of November had an all-time high. This one had an all-time high a long time ago with a round number, and then it plunged. That was in April. It had a 200 round number high, and then it had, oh, no, sorry, that was in 2024. But look at this, 543.00 round number high. Look at that. Comes down to 338 within 3 sessions. Pops up again, and now it's trading at 369. That green 9-period moving average, watching it closely, hasn't turned negative yet. We'll see. But the weekly chart is still strong technicals. All right. I could go on, but I won't. I had a question about, let me where it is. Could I go back over the FXI again? Yeah, FXI is the China. So this is really interesting. It's really hard to see right here, but this is an A, this is a B, this is a C, and was over that peak D, so you have to consider it a legitimate C, and today it gaps down. So iShares China Large Cap ETF, peak B in the monthly chart, peak D. Remember, D is where other things can happen. In the weekly chart, pulls back sharply under the 200-period moving average, pops up over it, and having a weak session today at 31.78. Let's see what Baba's doing, because Baba is Alibaba had a really good takeoff the other day, peak A, peak B, pulls back. Yeah, this is attempting to get to the 95s, but it'll only do that if within the next 2 days it doesn't take out 87 support. It's at 89.68 right now. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that I want to give you some veracity, some sense of what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it. I'm not sanguine. I'm not. This is not looking at the market, just with rosy eyes. I'm looking at it and I'm saying, if the Dow made a D, peak D, at the same time that the S&P, the Qs, and the IWM and the SMHs were making their tops just this end of last week, I probably would have started some kind of short only on that purely technical Chapman wave notational level. And now the Dow is only down 20-something. So I'm anticipating that there is residual strength. And as I say, a real sell-off is when the Dow is down 380, 420 points, and it tries to rally, then it closes at that level. And then it tries to rally again the next day, and it closes, and the S&P is down 62. We don't get that right here.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master.
Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, so the Dow's now down 7 and the S&P's up 10. You can see that it would be very difficult unless I was doing it intraday and I could say to subscribers, okay, here you can start to go long. I just didn't know where I could add to our 3 times long position in the Dow. We did it yesterday, took a 1% loss, and I didn't want to take that risk again today. I want the risk for 3 times long, 1%. Never heard of that, right? That's very tiny. But I was going to do it again, but I didn't want to widen the stop. I wanted to try to, just a 1-point stop. So, but now it's working well. To me, I'm fine because this is the modus operandi that I had. I want to stick with that. We're only long. We right at the top. For some, it was the exact top last week that we got out of our little tad. We took little bits off our core positions. Just building up a cash position. I think that's really important right now. Now, let me go to this. So the question came in. So Berkshire Hathaway's double topping, is that time to Berkshire hat-trick top? That means there's a daily, weekly, and monthly at a letter that would issue some kind of a reversal signal. So we must be on watch. I think we will eventually get SPX 6666. We remember 666 was the low back in March the 9th of 2009. Yeah, I in the back of my head, I've got all these numbers. I don't like to put it out because it just confuses. It means, yeah. And if I'm wrong, it just someone could remember that number. I've had this happen once before back in tennis. That's why in tennis never took stocks for years, because way back someone asked me about Apple. I'll never forget this. He said, should I buy Apple? And I said to him, right here it's a little toppy. I'd wait. So it actually pulled back quite sharply. But when I saw him the next year, it was outdoor tennis in the summertime, it had already started its huge move up. And he looked at me and said, oh, yeah? Huh? I said, what are you talking about? It pulled back. He said, yeah, but I never got back in. I said, well, that's not my fault. I'm not giving you any information anymore. So anyway, so Berkshire Hathaway, this is one of those great companies in America. The guy's got more cash than some countries will ever have in their GDP. So You've been in a long time, don't mess. If you want to take a little bit off because you asked the question, take a little bit off. This is one of the great companies. You know, years and years ago, I'm talking about maybe 2000 and I can't even remember now, maybe 2009 or 10, something like that. I had someone in one of my master classes that I gave on Chapman wave techniques, and she said that she had ExxonMobil that was given to her by a family. What should she do? So I said to her, you know, this is one of the great companies. This goes back, it goes back decades and decades to the turn of the 1900th century. I said, why didn't you do this? If you're really thinking about it, why don't you take a part of the dividend, keep the core, take a little bit of the dividend that you might want to live on, and anything extra, start putting in somewhere else. But this is a great company. No matter what happens, it always comes back. And here it is at 113, off the all-time high of 120. I forgot to type that in here, but maybe I typed it in there. Off the all-time high of 126.34. The 9-period monthly is still over the 14. It's still looking pretty good. ExxonMobil, and of course Exxon took over Mobil. I remember back in South Africa, I used to love the Mobil sign. Was it red, white, and blue or something? Just I love the sign. I've never particularly liked the Exxon sign. Anyway, Exxon takes over Mobil. So it's the same thing with Berkshire Hathaway. Just keep it as something that you don't want to mess with. In a way, you've got to think of it a little bit like an apple. Okay. Boeing. Oh, Marty, let's have a look at Boeing. Now, this is okay. Thank you, Marty. I'm so pleased. I think that you, or it might have been you yesterday, had mentioned, or the day before, had mentioned, or on Friday, had mentioned, put in the Den BA. And I remember saying, Boeing has had so much bad news. Another show on 60 Minutes. Here we go. A, B, C, leg D in the daily chart. The last leg A failed just like all the other legs have failed. Leg A strong in the weekly chart. And I'm putting this as a leg A starter in the monthly chart. Now, let me just talk about this just briefly. First of all, some of you, I'll just mention this. Back in the 1980s, when I had my newsletter and went out to, I had a hotline that went out to Fidelity Investments, my first big institution that had my newsletter, but it was basically at first just a hotline. Very soon after that, after the 87 crash, I had a newsletter, and it went out as a fax. I spoke about Boeing. I spoke about General Motors and the American auto companies, and I said there's this little country called Japan, which is starting to build cars with the precision that General Motors had in the 1950s with their fantastic 55, all those, the Ford Thunderbird, all those fantastic cars. They've not done that since, I said, and they're even using plastic parts. In fact, I had a Buick, and the Buick it was terrible. I spent a bundle on repairs that should never have been. And I said, that I consider that's part of the union's fault. Because if the union chairman, if the president of the union, the auto union, has said, oh, no, you our American car companies are starting to produce junk. If you continue to do that, my union members are going to suffer. So let's use that as an analogy, or at least a prologue for what I'm going to say now. So Boeing went from, like General Motors went from the designers to the bookkeepers, so they kept cutting costs. So Boeing did the same thing. And I would say the union should have said, hey, these are our jobs. We want the best. We don't want the worst. We don't want the cheapest. We want the best. All right, so that's the chairman of General Motors and Ford, all those guys, as well as the unions. They were all culpable. So that means that there have been parts that have been going to Boeing that are inferior for some time. And that was a company that was just the premier American company, Boeing. So to me, that is really very, very poor. But I think that the oversight now, they can't oversight things that are internal that they have no clue about. But the stuff that they have a clue about, I think they're doing something. And I think that there's a chance that Boeing is just starting to find some veracity, some integrity, that the low that was made right here, this last low, that was in the 137.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
So, yeah, let me just finish that off, and I'm going to say that, yes, Boeing, I think this is one of the times where I'm looking at the weekly chart for the very first time starting to improve enough. If Boeing can hold, it's at 165 right now, hold support at 160 to 158 for the next week into what is today, Tuesday, into next Wednesday, and try to get to the 107.80 area. That 170 200 period moving average could be hit for the very first time in months, if not years. And that's the way I'm looking at it. So I think there's a lot of effort going into Boeing to try to at least make sure that nothing untoward happens. So I like it right now. I would still think of it more as a trade than as a long-term position. But if it's able to hold into January, the mid-January, and is holding above 180, Wow, this is what I'm talking about, this rotational correction, that as we're getting something really weak, we've got something else that takes its place. Can that happen? Can that occur? I don't know right now. Meantime, we're ready. If the market pulls back further, we will go to the short side. I have no problem with that. But right now, we want to see if there's residual strength that can at least go further up. So with that said, I'm going to hand you over to Steve Rhodes. A great program today. Of course, I'll be back with Jacob a little later on. Meantime, back at the ranch, let me just check where we are. Dow. It's still not a great candle, but it's improving. It's now touching the 14-period moving average. I'd like to see it. It's up 5. I'd love, by the end of the day, as we get to 3:20 this afternoon, suddenly new buyers come in and the Dow actually ends up plus 80 or more. To me, that would be the sign that maybe by Friday we could actually retest the highs. If it goes back and it closes down 80 or more, then I'm wrong. So with that said, have a wonderful day. Check out my opening call. We've had some already nice gains in our positions, and I will see you a little later with Jacob, otherwise tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for Steve.